Good morning or afternoon, whenever you are watching this. It is Tuesday, May 12th, and you have a dictation for today. So please grab a paper and pencil, and I'm going to have you do this dictation with me. Feel free to pause if you need to grab any of those materials. So for number one, these are going to be our three sounds. For number one, please say zzz. What says zzz? And then write what says zzz for number one. Number two, say quoi. What says quoi? Write what says quoi for number two. Okay. Number three, say y. What says y? Write what says y for number three. So to review, sound number one, z. Sound number two, quoi. Sound number three, y. Word number one, so now we're down here at our words, okay? Word number one, say combat. Tap out the syllables in combat. What's the first syllable in combat? Write that down. What's the second syllable in combat? Write that down. Number two, say mascots. What's the base word in mascots? Very good. So tap out the word mascot. What's the first syllable in mascot? And the second syllable in mascot. Very good. After you write mascot, please add the suffix to make it say mascots. Number three, say panic. Tap out the syllables in panic. What's the first syllable in panic? What's the second syllable in panic? Very good. So write out each syllable for panic. And we'll move on to number four. Say disrupt. Tap out the syllables for disrupt. What's the first syllable in disrupt? Write that down. What's the second syllable in disrupt? And write that down. You should have written disrupt. Number five, say splendid. Tap out the syllables in splendid. What's the first syllable in splendid? Write that down. What's the second syllable in splendid? And write that down. You should have splendid. Number six, say fantastic. Tap out the syllables in fantastic. What's the first syllable in fantastic? You'll write that down. What's the second syllable in fantastic? Write that down. What's the third syllable in fantastic? Please write that down. You should have fantastic. Number seven, say invented. What's the base word in invented? Tap out the word invent. What's the first syllable in invent? And the second syllable? Very good. So you should write invent. Then add the suffix to make it past tense, invented. Number eight, say insulting. What's the base word in insulting? Tap out the word insult. What's the first syllable in insult? And the second syllable? Right, insult. Now that you have that, add the suffix to make it say insulting. Number nine, say frantic. Tap out the syllables in frantic. What's the first syllable in frantic? Write that down. What's the second syllable in frantic? Write that down. Read back through. You should have frantic. And the final word, number 10, say polishing. What's the base word in polishing? Tap out the word polish. What's the first syllable in polish? And write that down. What's the second syllable in polish? Write that down. You should have polish. And then add the suffix to make it say polishing. Right. Please go through. You're going to pause this. Make sure you have scooped words into syllables and that you have circled suffixes. So go ahead and pause now and do that now. All right, we're moving on to phrases. Phrase number 1, say push in front. Write push in front. Number 2, say handbag often full. Write handbag often full for number 2. Number 3, say children were punished. Write children were punished. Number 4, say want to pull the slingshot. Write want to pull the slingshot. Okay, I'm going to have you read back through and scoop your phrases. You should have push in front, handbag often full, children were punished, and want to pull the slingshot. Please circle the words push, front, often, full, were, want, to, and pull. You may have had to pause and go back a couple of times. That's okay. We're moving on to sentences. Sentence 1. Say, my friend insisted that we put a limit in the contract. You may have to review that again. Feel free to go back in the video. I'm going to do it one more time, but you might need to go back. The words are, my friend insisted that we put a limit in the contract. Did you start with a capital and end with a stop sign? Circle the word friend and the word put. Please scoop through the word insisted, limit, contract, and check your spelling. Then, I'd like you to read back through and scoop through the phrases as you read. My friend insisted that we put a limit in the contract. Number 2, say, we can inhabit the rustic cabin. Write, we can inhabit the rustic cabin. Hopefully you have paused me if necessary and you are ready to go back through. You've checked to make sure that you started with a capital and ended with a stop sign. I'd like you to check the words you're going to scoop through: inhabit, rustic, and cabin. Check your spelling on those. Then I'd like you to read and scoop through the phrasing in that sentence. We can inhabit the rustic cabin. Please look back one more time at your phrases. There are some words that are phonetic, that they can be checked for spelling. Please scoop through the word handbag, number 2, in number 2. The word children in phrase number 3. The word punished in phrase number 3. And the word slingshot in phrase number 4. Check through all of those. Make sure if you need to, go ahead and tap through each sound in a syllable if you feel like you need to do that to check if you're not sure. Please submit this to me if you would by email or by Edsme message. Thank you. Bye everyone. I miss you.